This is Margaret Ann Windsor, and this is Wednesday, I guess it's the 12th of June, 2014. I'm watching them talk about, and you've got President Obama on here now being interviewed on CNN, and they're talking about the school shootings, and the one that just happened in Troutdale, um, Oregon. Um, I've been telling about this. They're talking about something now, Vegas to Georgia, etc. I've been, well, I've put on video and Facebook and Twitter over the last year and a half at least about mind control murders and being done in patterns, and me writing a book back in 76, 77, 78, in 79, but on April the 1st, April Fool's Day of 80, I was filled full of antifreeze. I thought it was because of the book and the names in it, the doctors like U.S. Congressman Larry McDonald, and there were quite a few names that were powerful. So I got antifreeze put in me. I had a letter from the FBI June the 23rd of 79. And then in '83, I found out that I was flown out to Larry Flint's during a campaign to replace Congressman Dr. Larry McDonald from Atlanta. And his plane had gone down from Juneau, Alaska he was going to Seoul, South Korea. Now then, Nixon was taken off in Juneau, and it's my understanding that Geraldo was taken off there, off the plane. The plane went down, the KAL-007 with all aboard drowned. And supposedly Larry McDonald was on there. So I became a candidate and was flown out to Flint's because he was shot on March the 6th of 78 in Lawrenceville, Georgia, and I was in Marietta, about 40 miles away, doing the book at Moonraker Apartments. Now then, the man that shot Larry Flint and killed his attorney in Lawrenceville was programmed. So I was flown out to Flint's for political help. And anyway, I wanted to go back to over the years, I've really paid a price. I found out the reason for all of it wasn't necessarily the book at all. It's who I am. I found out in late '83, or began finding out, that my real name is Margaret Ann Windsor. I'm Victoria II, heir to the British Crown. And my father, King Edward VIII, never married, had anything to do with Wallace Warfield Simpson. An imposter, a look-alike, married her. My father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, sister to Georgia artist Georgia O'Keefe. And my mom was born in Madison, Wisconsin, Sun Prairie. And so you can get the gist of how powerful, and the cover-up is stayed, even with me finding out and telling it. My Uncle George, the illegal George VI, helped Joe Kennedy, who was ambassador to England from 36 to 46 till he was kicked out. Roosevelt appointed him. He, Joe Kennedy, was JFK's father, helped in my kidnapping and bringing me to Moulton, Alabama, and my Uncle George became the illegal George VI. He gave him access in my kidnapping, helped in it. And the New World Order, the Jewish, the Kennedy, Kennedy is Irish. My mother was Irish, by the way. I'm British. Don't let anybody misunderstand that for one moment. But anyway, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, and all that were part of orchestrating the takedown of my father. And the very idea they put a 99-year seal on it, my father wasn't even married to this American spy, Wallace Simpson. So you see how powerful it was. So now then, I wrote about mind control murders. And really I started telling about it in 1970 because they were done in patterns. But in 70, early 70, I didn't know the mechanism used in it. I just knew people were being killed, and I knew that Warren and Rosina Matthews were pathologists, forensic pathologists at Larry McDonald's Hospital, and Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta, and they were shot and gunned down, and the people were programmed to shoot them. But part of that was it's the Tesla files, the mind control that was stolen in early 30s or maybe before. But anyway, you can create an illness and you can cure it using mind control. It's the beliefs in it. It's part of it. I'm sure there's more to it than that. So in essence, I was telling about any illness can be cured or it can be created. And of course, if you stop and think about it, and I'm also reminded the fact that I am who I am and what's been done to me would rock the world with, because everybody thinks Elizabeth is great, God save the Queen. She's not the Queen, I am. So I want to go to this today. Over the years, these murders that are done in patterns, because mind control is invisible. So these were deliberately done in the patterns throughout the years, and they never stopped. It's who's doing it that people had rather go after me, and like if they shut me up, it's going to stop it. No, they would just it would stop them being aware of it, made aware of it. Anyway, the only thing I'm going to say here and update it is I told about the Virginia Tech, which is next door to me here in Blacksburg. I'm in Roanoke or Salem right at the moment. And that was 33 that were killed there. And the supposed shooter, the reason these shootings have no motive is the motive is in the programmer or the agency doing the programming. These are innocent victims who are being programmed, so they don't even know they're going to do the shooting, and their motive is not even their own. So the shocking thing is you've got Obama, the president, that's going on and talking about like he doesn't even know about mind control, MK Ultra and all that. Well, nobody wants to tell it because the media is controlled by the very people that kidnapped me. And I am the legal monarch. So now that I wanted to go back to Tucson, Arizona, there was a lot of murders happened at Virginia Tech and the University of Virginia. By the way, a relative of mine, a cousin, is Anastasia, and I'm going to have to hurry. She was murdered by the Blue Ridge Mental Health System in '84. Now, the mental health, she was Tsar Nicholas's daughter. I want to update this real quick. I was made illegally to move on the 22nd of last month, which was May, and I went out to North Creek Campground in Buchanan, Bobtott County, to camp. Stayed there 2 weeks. Troutdale, Daleville, and Cloverdale are all together. They're a little small off of Highway 11 and 220. They're almost like one place. And then you got Fincastle. But I've been talking about, without going through here, I don't have the time, the shooting that just happened in Troutdale. My post office is in Troutdale. It has been for years and years and years. And I just came back through there before the shootings happened. This one happened. I'm at another place now here in Salem. And anyway, I don't know what the shooter's name are. They're not telling it. He's dead. But that's what you get. And they took Troutdale and Daleville. They took pieces of each. If you want to call it a town, they're just a few stores and motels. It's on off of Interstate 81, and it's on 220 and Lee Highway or Highway 11. So that's what's going on. And there's more to it than that, but that's made it out in Portland, Oregon, right outside it. That Troutdale, that's exactly. I'm waiting to see what the young man's name is. If they tell it, usually that is a very link to it. But I'm going to go now. I can't get my videos up since I came back, so I don't know what's gone wrong there.